Fortunate I get my ruling go my way to get another year, but very thankful for the coaches and everyone here, help with my rehab and things like that. So I'm very thankful for Hawkeye Nation staying with me, and it's been a lot of fun.
Drew, have you been given any explanation why it took this long?
No.
Have you asked for one? Is there a way to ask?
I don't know. I don't know who to talk to or how to ask them, but no.
Did they basically say the 30% rule was just hard and fast?
Yeah, I mean that's what they said the first time. It's just I played too many games, so I mean it's understandable.
You played hurt, basically with the elbow, right? I mean, did you ever think about not playing?
I mean, I never thought about not playing. I mean, it was something I could work with. So I mean, I had it dislocated before, so I kind of knew how to work my way around it. So I wasn't too concerned about it.
So the Big Ten had it for the first 3 months, and then they forwarded the petition to the NCAA, if I'm not mistaken. Do you know why that took so long for the Big Ten to forward it?
I don't know. It's really confusing. So I mean, there's just a lot of steps that they have to go through and things like that. So hopefully they can get that a little more streamlined for the next person.
Seem to be handling it pretty well. Did you just kind of prepare yourself that whatever happens, happens?
I mean, either way, I mean, I'm excited to play football the next year. I mean, whether it's here or with another team, I mean, I just got to rehab and do things like that. So I'm pretty confident I'll succeed in whatever happens. So we'll just wait for the decision.
Did you hit the ground running as far as NFL goes, agent, and all that kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean, I contacted people, got my agent lined up and things like that. So
You're going to be visiting teams?
I haven't talked to any teams yet about visits or anything like that, but probably here soon. Start talking to them.
I'll interject. That's one of the downsides, I think, of the process taking so long. The last couple of weeks, the guys have been out traveling a little bit, and for somebody with health issues, that might have been helpful. So it'd been nice if it had been expedited a little bit, but that's just not how it worked out.
Kirk, so one play equals a whole game?
Basically, yeah, if you do the math on it. And one of our arguments was played around 200 snaps last year, which in a normal game, our guys play 70 to 80 snaps defensively. So, it just depends how you look at how you cut it up. And, we don't sit on those meetings. I know there are hard, fast rules, but there are also interpretations. If you look at Case Keenum, who played at Houston 6 years, one of the NFL people brought him to mind. The Temple basketball player, Ohio State, just had a 6-year receiver. And again, I don't know all the details of those situations, but to make it all make sense is hard. But that's just kind of the way it is.
Kirk, it looks like the Big Ten sat on it for 3 months. Is that obviously it's more complicated than that? But
yeah, I don't know if I'd use that terminology, but it's been very cumbersome. The whole process has been cumbersome, and it's not a cut and dry case, I guess, obviously, or else it would have been done months ago, I would assume. But so I appreciate the fact that Drew got to run the race. It'd been preferable if it was expedited a little bit.
Did you feel like you were getting heard?
It's really hard to answer that question because, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, but 17 years being a head coach, I really don't understand how things happen, how things come about a lot of times. And that's not my focus. I'll qualify by saying it's not my focus to really understand the process. Usually just kind of deal with what comes your way. Really not unlike the satellite camps and all that other stuff. Things just happen, and you roll with the flow on that stuff. But I think the case was presented and heard. It just took a while.
Kirk, is this something you're going to maybe bring up at a Big Ten meeting or something to maybe streamline this process, make it easier for a student athlete?
We went through one other appeal that comes to mind. It would have been 05, I believe, with Lee Gray. We thought he had grounds for a 6-year, and the answer is negative on that also. So, it's kind of it's a cloudy topic, I guess, and I'm not sure, how much we're supposed to know or do know, that type of thing. It's just, you kind of roll with the decisions that come your way. But big thing is to get the information out there and let people that are knowledgeable make decisions.
How's your rehab going, Drew, and when do you feel like you'll be able to get back to do what you do?
Rehab's going great. Started running here and things like that, so everything's going good for me, and I should be ready to go by season.
Drew, who called you and told you, and when did it happen?
Coach Ferentz told me last night, so I talked to him about it.
The NCAA call you, or the compliance person that calls you?
Actually, Gary found out prior to the event we were at, and then didn't think it was appropriate really to let Drew know until, and I didn't know until after I spoke with you, actually. We spoke last night, and I wasn't aware of it at that point. But so I found it during the program, and then shared with Drew when we got back to Iowa City.
How much did you want to come back here for one more year?
I mean, it would have been great. I mean, I love playing for Coach Ferentz and the staff and things like that. And I mean, I got a lot of friends on the team, and it would have just been a great time. So I would have really enjoyed coming back for another year.
Okay, thanks, Drew.
We came out on Drew, obviously, and just, a couple thoughts on that. First and foremost, really disappointed for Drew. Drew's just done such a great job here. And, that's a tough thing, tough situation. Beyond that, I am disappointed with the decision and also disappointed with the process. And, that being said, I'll just move on. Going back to Drew, I can't say enough about him as a player, team member, and just how he's handled what I think is a very challenging circumstance and situation over the last couple of months here. But, if you look back last fall, how he handled going through some injuries and what happened after he was injured, taken out of the field of play, just how he upped his investment with our football team, upped his leadership, and I didn't think that was possible, but he did. He found a way to even add and contribute more, so he was a huge part of our success, and really appreciative of that. All the coaches are, I know all of his teammates are as well. Again, I was a little bit hopeful and mildly optimistic that this ruling would go the other way. It didn't. But that being said, the good thing is, the comforting thing is that I know he's got a bright future. He's going to do really well whatever he chooses to do moving on. A couple of things about Drew: he's extremely smart. He's very, very talented athletically, outstanding football player. He's truly a team first guy. And then, his mental toughness is off the charts, and quite frankly, that probably might have been his undoing in this whole circumstance. That's probably what got him in trouble in the eyes of the NCAA. So, really, when you look at it, whether it's the NFL or whatever he chooses to do beyond that, to me, he's got a bright future. It's kind of ironic or coincidental. This morning, I shared an article with our football team just about Brendan Sheriff and the reason the Redskins drafted him. That was kind of a mildly controversial pick, I guess, at number 5. But it really got down to the message in the articles from their general manager was he was trying to establish a culture with that organization. He wanted a player that he knew was going to set a great example for everybody in the Redskins organization in the next decade. And to me, that's what Brendan Sheriff's all about, and Drew Ott is that same type of individual. And I don't care if it's football, family, business, whatever environment he ends up in, that's what he's going to bring, just a tremendous young person. So needless to say, we're sorry that he won't be with us for his full senior year next year. But again, very, very appreciative of all he's done, and certainly very, very confident he'll do extremely well in the future. So we certainly wish him all the best, and again, thank him for everything he's done for our football team, our program over the last several years. And I'll bring Drew up to say a couple things, and then have any questions, we'll field those after you hear from Drew.